Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third installment of Giving Black Women Their Flowers. My name is Bree Smile. I am joined, though, by Shonda, and I won't even say her last name because she's ready to take on a new one. We're going to get into it and who she is, and we're so honored to have her here with us for Diderot Magazine. All right, Shonda, first things first, you got to tell the people who you are. You did grow up in KC, Kansas City, Missouri, so you can start there talking about who you are and how your surrounding environment influenced who you are now.
Okay, so hey y'all, I'm Shonda. I grew up in Kansas City. I lived there until I was about 25 years old, and I started my hair career there. I went to a Nexus Beauty College in Independence, Missouri, where I learned how to care for natural hair. We didn't learn anything about extensions, so of course I was curious about extensions because who doesn't want long, flawless hair, you know? So I started researching. When I turned 19, I started my own hair company. I really got into a lot of experimenting, as I would say, because I purchased a lot of samples. Some stuff wasn't for me, some stuff I liked. So then it moved forward and my business continued to grow. Kansas City was a great starting place for me because I had to work. And when I say I had to work, y'all.
Work it.
Yes. So that was a blessing, being born and raised there and starting my career there. Then I later moved to Dallas. I stayed in Dallas for 5 years. I opened a salon in Dallas, built tons of clientele, worked with the top photographers, top models,
Oh,
some celebrities. Yeah, so Dallas was good. I got a lot of work done, a lot of content. Now I'm located in Seattle, and it's way more family oriented, which is what I wanted because, of course, I'm starting my family, and here it's a little more chill. So I went from being behind the chair to behind the computer, which is a big transition, as we know.
right, right. Actually, I want you to kind of talk about that then, your transition
hmm
from being a cosmetologist in your salon, front facing with the clients, to then having to be more technology based, working on more wholesale. What does that look like for you? And how are you, balancing that transition? Just
uh
your thoughts.
research. I basically have taught myself everything about running my company the way that I feel like my customers deserve. So I go the extra mile. There's nights I don't sleep. There's times that I cook dinner and run back up to my workroom. I can't even eat with my family, because I'm really on it. And progressing in the social media world is challenging. As we all know, it changes daily. And when I say daily,
Okay.
it's growing so rapidly. I really think it's beneficial for businesses, especially online businesses like mine, because it gives us an audience, you know. And basically going through my marketing, I have to create my own setup. I'm the photographer now. I have to be my secretary now. I'm sending out emails. I'm doing everything by myself, and it is challenging, but I managed to get that done. Plus, still balance my personal life.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned your personal life because you talked about not being able to eat with your family sometimes and you're building a family. For you all who do not know, Shonda is engaged, baby. Okay. And they are a blended family. And I think that's so
hmm
important that you talk about what it's like balancing not only having a blended family, which is a very specific, unique experience, but then also being a working mom. What does that require of you to have to set your boundaries and having to deal with what all comes with that? What have you experienced?
Girl, patience. Patience. I have to give all thanks to God because that's where my patience come from. Dealing with a 10-year old, an 8-year old, and a fiance, making sure they have everything they need, making sure that you spend enough time with them so they don't feel neglected. And on top of that, making sure you still run your company so you can provide for them the way that you want to and spoil them with the things that you want to spoil them with. So it is definitely a big thing to have patience in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you kind of deal with the struggles of being just a woman that's an entrepreneur? Because those also come with specific challenges? Is there anything that you can think of maybe that comes to mind that you realize that maybe you sacrifice more, maybe a man wouldn't? And even if you don't really know specifically, but just maybe something that you think a lot of women may struggle with, and some advice that you would have for them in finding that balance and having patience. Like, what do you do?
Okay, I'm gonna start off with the word love, right? So love. Like I said, I had my own salon in Dallas. I was working, I had a nice clientele, things were going great. Well, I got engaged, and basically, being a noble woman, you want to have a man that leads. So I decided to follow my fiance, and I have basically removed myself from comfort. So this is all new, and I felt like I sacrificed my comfort, a lot of my other relationships, because everyone and everything that I had built was in Dallas, and all of my family was in Kansas City. So I was comfortable with still communicating from a distance, but it's times that I'm like, oh, I need a girl day, or
Yeah.
just simple stuff like that. So, but definitely it was worth it all, because I am at home, which home is my fiance, and love rules all.
Oh, how do you incorporate time for yourself, or what things are you want to start implementing? The girl days you're talking about. I saw
Yeah.
on your feeds you were doing like walks. Seattle's a very natural, scenic place. How are you
Yes.
implementing self-care in your routine?
Honestly, the beauty of nature has really been a great experience, because I've been in the city. Being in the city, and I know it's busy. It's always busy. Being able to go to a park or simply drive down a highway and see a mountain is like, whoa,
Right.
it's really beautiful. So I've learned to appreciate nature and really be thankful for the things that I'm able to see, because I'm gonna share this with you. We all used to watch Barney, right?
Definitely. I definitely did.
Do you remember the scenery in Borneo? It was more so like trees
Yeah.
and mountains and stuff. So the other day, I'm driving down the road, and I was a little frustrated about something. That's what I'm saying. So I was sitting there, and I was trying to find a good in the situation. And when I looked up, I seen the mountain in the trees, and it took me
Yes.
back to me sitting there as a little girl watching these things on TV, and I'm like, girl, you here right now, real life. Like, it's amazing.
Right.
It's almost mind blowing what could be done. Like, it's crazy.
And I want to kind of go back to, of course, you were in Texas, but then you came from Kansas City. We talked about that. What are some of the
Mm-hmm.
major differences, though, that you noticed with being where you are now in Seattle? How has that affected your mental health in comparison to where you grew up? Maybe how is it different from your experiences as an adolescent? Because we just all maybe grow and evolve when we get away from home. And so I
Yeah,
want you
yeah.
to talk about kind of how that experience of you moving across the country has really shifted in that space, your mental health space, or even your entrepreneurial space.
Kansas City was the root, and that will forever be my love. Where I learned everything. I was intimidated when I moved to a bigger city, because I had never seen big like that. But that intimidation turned into a hunger, that turned into I gotta eat, that turned into I got this. So I feel like I built my mental health up leaving my family, because that was the hardest thing I've ever done. So my mental health got built up there. Now, leaving everything as far as friendships, business, because it's hard to leave the bag, and really step out on faith and look forward to a different source of income, a different crowd, because Seattle is completely different from Kansas City and Dallas.
Right.
Seattle is more conservative. We have a lot of military women here. We have a lot of people here that don't wear wigs, don't wear extensions. The market here is slim. So I got plans for Seattle. I'm gonna let y'all know that.
Okay, really, because I
Look.
want to know what those plans are after you talk about this.
Yes, yes. My mental health is good.
Yeah.
It was a struggle. I will say that, as far as staying grounded and remembering that I am still fun. I am still
Yes.
beautiful. I am still me
Yes.
outside of everything that's attached to me. I have to realize who I am and love me.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing that I had to learn, which was hard, but I got it, and I love her. Look,
Okay. She popping. Okay.
right.
Self-esteem is definitely important. I was going to ask you, let's actually take a step back because I want to know about your next steps and your plans. But
Okay.
for women who struggle with their self-esteem, I mean, you're in beauty, you're in that industry. You have put out on your social media ways that women can have some certain upkeep. I mean, you're dropping the keys, the knowledge, all of it. What piece of advice before we get to your next steps would you have for women who may be struggling with their self-esteem or their outward appearance and what they look like in public spaces?
This is the best advice that I could give, and this is something that I used. I had insecurity because I have always worn extensions, and of course we love our eyelashes, our makeup, all that stuff. So what I would do is when I would wake up with nothing on, and I would stand there and I would look at me in the mirror, and I would see how beautiful I was, not from my outer appearance, but what my inward is trying to give back. What I want to make other people feel, because I genuinely like making people feel beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that's what I love. I love when a woman gets out of my chair or even opens a package from me and her smile is from ear to ear.
Right, right. Oh, that is
You
heartwarming.
know?
And women, uplifting women is definitely near to my heart for sure. And that's why I
Yes.
definitely want to give you this platform, this space right now to talk about what you're doing for your next steps, your plans, the future of your company, what's going on.
Okay, so like I said, Seattle, the hair game is like not Dallas and not even Kansas City. I will have to give Kansas City its props on that. Um I have yet to hear about a hair show, a bridal show for hair. Um, gosh, I you really don't find many wig stores out here.
Yeah,
You have a few hair stores. There's nothing.
yeah,
So my plans are to open up the market, build a team, and actually step out here and bring these creatives together so we could build a community and actually like really bang and show what Seattle got to offer,
yeah.
because we're here, why not?
So, what is one final sort of a lesson that you've learned through all of the hats that you wear?
I'm gonna just be honest. I've never been like an organized person as far as
Uh-huh.
go by the schedule.
Yeah.
So I have realized that I have to have a schedule when I have a family. So I have created a schedule to where I have certain days that I do certain things. I have from 9 to 4, I dedicate my time to work. And then after work, me and Carter, I cook dinner, we do homework together. That's our time.
Yeah.
We all try to eat together. Some days, which are the weekends, usually I'm not able to eat with them because I'm really like going in. But during the week, I try to sit down and have a meal with them because I would like to know how they feel, what their mental health is like, what their day was like, what obstacles they're facing, if I could help in any kind of way, any advice I could give, any love I could share. Simply a hug sometimes is enough for your baby or your spouse.
Absolutely. Giving them that focused time, that focused energy. I like how you
Yeah.
took us through sort of your daily life. You have to schedule it out and plan it. That's very
Yes.
important and impactful. I've learned that as well. And I've been a person that has had a schedule, but it's really different when you have a lot of other people involved and loved ones. Got to make that a
Yeah.
priority. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to share about your life, love, business, anything that you want to share?
Um, yes, there is. So I just want to say this. The main thing is to stay grounded in who you are. Do not lose what you love. Besides everything I have attached to me, the first thing that I knew was hair.
Yes.
And I still try to value my passion. There's times, don't get me wrong, I lose interest in it sometimes just because of the overwhelming life that I have. But I always try to remember the beauty in it, why I do it, which is for other women and to make them feel good. And that's what keeps me going.
Yes, yes. You are committed to attempting to give your best in every aspect of your life. And so I give you your flowers, sis. I appreciate
Thank
you for
you.
this interview. Listen, Shonda, look, her name's gonna be changing soon, and her business is popping. It's gonna continue to elevate. Okay, it's gonna continue to grow, and we wish nothing but the absolute best for you. Thank y'all for joining us for this interview. See y'all next time.
Look.